What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Zeri from the XMG, and we are here with a Raid Shadow Legends video. And I have two accounts, as some of you know, some of you may not. This account I've been playing for 223 days, and I stopped playing it for a while because I said this game is crap. I just don't seem to be going anywhere, and I messed up so many things, and I've actually just picked this back up probably 3-4 months ago now, and I'm just thoroughly enjoying this game. It's my type of game, grindy, theory crafting. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my top 10 mistakes I've made that I hope you don't. So let's get into that. Alright, so number 10 for me, everybody, is not reading your character's move kits, not understanding them, and then pairing them with the right champions to maximize that move kit, right? And behind me is Turvold. Turvold was my first Void Legendary I ever pulled, and I use him all over the place. But Turvold has some caveats to his move kit, and it's on his A3 ability Juggernaut. He attacks one enemy 2 times. Damage increases according to the number of buffs on this champion. If the target is killed, it resets the cooldown on the skill. So the big thing here is number of buffs on this champion. So what I want to do is I want to pair this guy with people that give him buffs to maximize that damage. Now, I could put him in a team because he does buff himself on his A2. I could do that. But to get the most out of this character, I want to put him with characters that buff. And there's so many characters in this game that are like that. And, you know, another example just to kind of beat it home is Pixneal, the new one. On her A2, places a decreased defense, heal buff to all allies, then attacks all enemies under freeze. You know, then she places weaken debuff on all enemies under freeze. You want to pair her with somebody with freeze to maximize that potential. Can she be used solo? Yes. Are you going to get the most out of this champion? No, and that's what I'm talking about. You have to read it and think it, and I'm not knocking anybody who makes content besides myself. When I mention other people, please don't take it like that, but this is why, and I'm going to get into it later on, when you watch a video on YouTube or you listen to me or Hell Hades, J-Gigs, Ash, any phenomenal Darth microtransactions, Stu, any Chofleet, any of those guys who are just amazing at what they do, you got to take it with a grain of salt because you can hear it, right? And like, I listen to it a lot when I'm driving in the car, and then I forget about it when I get home, and I'm like, oh, they said put her in this, they said do this. Read it, understand it. You know, sometimes I read move kits, and then if I don't understand it, I go to watch like Hell Hades and J-Gigs and all those guys, and it helps my mind connect the dots. But when you get a champion, read them over. Some terrible champions in this game could help you out with things you want to do. And I shouldn't say terrible champions, but champions you think might not be as good could do things for you. Armiger is a perfect example. People still use him in endgame comps right now for Doom Tower. You need to do that, and it's because right here he attacks one enemy, damages that, and you know, it's proportional to defense, and increases according to the enemy's max HP. So he can be a nuker if you need him. There's people out there that can put decrease attack or decrease speed or decrease defense, and just because they're an uncommon or a rare and you're running them in all epics means nothing. People run legendaries and still put War Maiden in to drop down defense. So read it, understand it, and think about where it can benefit your comp, because I can't tell you to go farm a person in this game. You have to be lucky enough to pull them, so you have to be creative with what you do. So make sure you're doing that, being creative, reading, understanding, and pairing the champions the right way, because when I started, I didn't. I was like, oh, pulled a legendary. War Mother, she's going to be amazing because she's legendary. I'm putting her everywhere. That one bit me in the ass. Make sure you're checking your defensive teams. For the longest time, I'm like, how come I can't stay in Silver 1? What the hell is going on? Well, I forgot to come into my defensive team and check. I still had like all common characters as my defense, or you know, I had Sniper in there. I had one person as my defensive team because that's what you set up in the beginning of the game. And so of course people want to fight me, so I'm losing all those points. Make sure you're checking your defensive comps. Build a defensive comp. Is that a number one priority? No. Like this, I should probably go back and revisit. I haven't done it in a while. 3v3 arena. Look at your defensive teams. Don't forget about them. Because as you pull people and they become better and better and better, you want to sub those in. It helps you stay in your current arena spot, and it's better test of actually where you are. So make sure you're going through, checking your defensive teams, updating your defensive teams, building defensive teams when you get to that point in the game. Let all of that hard work and grind in the arenas benefit itself by staying where you should. Expectations versus reality. Now, I'm going to use the example of my Royal Guard, right? And you're going to see Royal Guard in here because this is the character I'm currently working on to help me progress in the dungeons. And I pulled Royal Guard, and all I heard and all I read is this guy's a nuker, this guy's great, blah, blah, blah. Well, I put him in, right? Threw him in there, and I instantly expected me to progress. Well, that's not how this game works. And when you first start, maybe you understand that, but I didn't. And I was playing last night, and I'm like, how come I'm not getting max damage out of this guy? What is going on? Well, I tried changing gear, I tried redoing his masteries, all these things. And then I went and found a really good guide by my buddy Hell Hades. And one thing I noticed is when I was fighting, I'm like, why isn't this guy doing his takedown ability? What is going on here? This is his crazy move. How come it's not happening? And I knew there was a problem, but then I went and watched Hell Hades' video, and it says, well, if he doesn't have decrease defense, the AI is not going to proc takedown. And then it clicked. Like, I understood there was a problem, and then it clicked. Now, when I first probably unlocked this guy, I found that video, watched it, that didn't resonate with me at all. So when you pull a character, be mindful, you're not going to, unless you're a Kraken or a whale and you can instantly level these guys up and you got 1,000 books laying around, they're not going to be usable right away. You know, I mean, if you're level 10 and you pull your first legendary and you get Seal of the Drakes, put her in. You know, stuff like that is different. But when you're like becoming out of that beginning game to mid game, when you pull a character, they might not fill in right away. You get pumped and you get excited. You know, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to link. I can't point on green screen. I'm going to link the video up there where I pulled a crazy legendary pull. But take a look, like, you know, Nethril, Mashaled. I really, really want to get Rotos up and running, but I got other projects I'm working on, and I got to temper my expectations versus my reality of what really is going to happen. Because to make Rotos really, really good, I got to book him. I don't spend a lot of money in this game. I don't. You need to book him to really make him to what you see on those videos. When you watch videos of Hell Hades and J-Gigs, you know, J-Gigs free to play has really benefited me. Hell Hades does a really good job of breaking down like a mid-game build and an end-game build. That really helps me out. But booking, just like everything in this game, is RNG and everything's so random. It sucks ass. And just temper your expectations versus the reality so you don't get mad at the game and stop playing it. Because that's really what happened to me the first time around. It's like, I pulled this champion, what the hell? But I didn't take the time to understand why. So temper those expectations versus your reality. Make goals and stick to them. I had a goal of getting through the missions so I could get Arbiter, right? That's my goal. Now, I just pulled 3 legendaries I really want to invest in. Can they become side projects? Absolutely. But my number one goal is getting through Arbiter so I can get her. Who wouldn't want it? And I was stuck on Spider 15 because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So that shifted my goal, because I'm still working on Arbiter, getting my Spider team where I needed to be. Making goals and sticking to them help you progress, because in this game you can just go all over the freaking place, and then you're going to get half-finished champions. You're not going to progress anywhere. So make the goal, and no matter how minor it is, stick to it. Another example here is, if I go to my champions, I pulled Miscreated Monster. I want to book Miscreated Monster badly, and he can benefit me everywhere. But I'm currently booking another epic champion who can benefit me in different places as well in Stagnite. And I haven't finished off the books of where I want to be. I want to get this cooldown down to 3, and I haven't got there yet. So I'm not moving to Miscreated Monster, because then Stagnite's going to sit here in the same spot he is now, not benefit my account. Whereas if I get this cooldown down to 3, Stagnite's going to be more beneficial than a half-book Miscreated Monster. So make your goals, stick to them, continue to push and grind to achieve those goals. Now, if your goal is to get a 6-star Arbinger and you pull Seal the Drakes, or she's your login character, okay, switch your goal. But because even a unbooked level 40 Seal the Drakes is going to be better for your account. So you got to keep that in mind, that goals can shift, but don't make so many goals. Like, I want to get Rotos up, right? I want to get Nethril up. And I leveled them through just, doing my dailies and burning my energy up and all that crap. And I want to get them up and running so we can do stuff. But you can't have that take over what you are already working on, if that makes sense. So just set goals and stick to them. Which leads me into number 5 for me, which is a big one, is too many projects at once. Now, this game has so many components that you're going to have multiple projects going on. But break down the aspects of the game. Great Hall, which I'll get into a little bit later. Accuracy. That's my number 1 goal. Let's get all these accuracies up so I can stop putting accuracy banners and accuracy chests on guys to get to the threshold of what I want. 1 goal. Then you have your battles. Where do you want to be in arena? Set an arena goal. Set your faction war goal. I want to get better every single time in faction wars. But I'm not looking at every single faction in faction wars. Right now, my goal is undead. So I'm working on undead to make them the best faction war team I can be. Dungeons. Out of all the dungeons, my focus right now was Spider. I was focusing on Spider because I wanted to get the challenge for Arbiter done, right? And I got to the point, my other challenge before Spider was I wanted to farm level 20 of Dragon, and I got a slow team, but I can do it. I can put it on auto and walk away and it farms it. But if I was trying to build a Spider comp and a Dragon comp at the same time, nothing's going to get completed, right? Campaigns. I haven't beat Nightmare. Don't care about it right now. I don't, because I want to build all those things up because I need better gear, blah, blah, blah. Setting goals for each thing and having too many of them can screw you up big time. Number 5, being content with your clan boss team. Now, you're going to have to put off improving your clan boss team. Like, I can 2-key Brutal, I'm getting shards out of there, I'm getting decent gear, and eventually I want to get up to Nightmare, and I put my extra keys in Nightmare, and I go from there and I get the bottom chest. Do I have... Right now, I don't have really the characters to take me above where I'm at, right? So that is kind of still there, but it's gone down the list a little bit. But what I was doing before is, I was like, oh, sweet, I can 1-key normal. And then I wouldn't go back and do anything else in Clan Boss. And you're hurting yourself for resources, shards, all sorts of things. There's so many good things in the Clan Boss RNG dependent that you can get, and the gear in there can really help your early game account. But don't be stuck and stagnant in Clan Boss. I know I gotta improve to Nightmare, but right now with the champions I have, it's harder to push that way. Next one up for me is Faction Wars. I made the mistake of, well, I don't got a strong team in Faction Wars, it's just the first level, I'm not going to do it. Don't put off faction wars. My skinwalkers aren't that good. I don't have the best skinwalker team. I don't have keys to take in there and show you right now, but I use all my keys on both sets every single day because you get glyphs, right? 1 or 2 star glyphs, even if it's a 1 star and you need speed on somebody, you got a glyph sitting there that could get you 1 or 2 more speed. Yes, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it can help you out. If you're building a team comp and speeding somebody up and one guy's only 3 speed less and you can't find that gear and you don't want to spend the silver to move it around, go to your glyphs. Don't ignore faction wars. If you can only beat level 1 at 1 star, do it every single day. Use those keys. Get those glyphs. Get the artifact forged pieces. Next one for me is Great Hall. Look at that Great Hall. It is a steaming pile of hot dog poo. And there's no way to reset this. And I thought, in my mind, when I first started, is, oh, an extra 2% of everything is better. No. It isn't. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a stat boost. But 2% attack, is that really going to make a big difference? Good thing I took it all the way down on everything in one. No. This is going to be a much bigger difference. Don't just go all crazy on your Great Hall. You know, focus. Defense is huge. I mean, you don't got to worry, maybe you don't need a defensive chest. So the spiderlings, when you set up your spiderling tank, your spider tank, you could put a different chest in there to help out more. Or your crit damage is huge on endgame builds. Way more important than most likely on attack because you're going to max out your crit rate. Accuracy is so big so you can get different stats in your banners. You don't have to put the accuracy chest on. You don't need an accuracy lead in clan boss to land your debuffs. Don't make the mistake I did and have your Great Hall look like that back there, because that is just kick myself in my ass all the time for that, and I really don't want to see anybody make that mistake. If I could take all this shit away that I had here and put it here, I'd be in a much, much better place than I am right now. So keep that in mind. I would save up any amount of gems to reset this bad boy. The next one here that I didn't do early on is I geared for sets, not for stats. And again, we're going to go back to Royal Guard. I want Royal Guard to fall in a certain area. I want his crit rate 100%. I want his speed to be below the other person who's putting decreased defense, right? So we make sure we get that decreased defense on every single time so then he can do his takedown. I want his accuracy, so if he has to put the decreased defense on his A1, I want it to be at the level of the stage I'm farming. And I got work to do, but when I first started this game, I had no idea I could go to total stats and see everything. Much easier. You know, especially when you're making like your spiderling tank, you can come in here and be like, okay, I gotta get my defense. I'm trying to do the math in my head, and anybody who watches my channel knows that's a train wreck waiting to happen. And because math is my enemy. But here, okay, I gotta get, or his health for the spiderling tank, I gotta get his health below this guy, and I want to get his defense high. Like, ugh. So to get him there, I put on these speed boots because I'm getting defense, I'm getting crit rate, I'm getting accuracy. For me, this is what I needed. And it goes with nothing. But it's better than any speed boot with the stats I was looking for to help me out to hit those goals, so use it. Then when I get speed boots, which is what I'd be looking for, that are better or exactly the same as this, I can switch it out and get that stat bonus. But what I was doing is, oh man, I got 1 crit rate. I better put in a 2-star crit rate glove that has flat stat attack on a defensive champion because that's what I need. That's not going to benefit your account at all. Go for stats for what you're looking for over sets. And my best tip I can give somebody that I didn't do was, it's a game. Have fun. Don't be afraid to play around. Don't be afraid to try a different clan boss team. So if you have to use your third key to hit the top chest on Brutal that day because you wanted to try a Tyrell under-geared and not booked versus a completely maxed out Coffin Smasher to see if it would work for you, do it. Have fun. Try it out. See if it works. Discover something. Don't be set by, I got here, I can't change it, this is the way it's got to be. That's one of the cool things people don't talk about with Raid is you can really make this game your own. Do you, have fun, and don't be afraid to experiment. So my YouTube family, that is what I got for you today, is just 10 mistakes I've made that I don't want to see you make. If you're just finding me for the first time, we do Dragon Champions and Raid Shadow Legends on this channel. So, yeah. Hopefully you'll subscribe and join that XMG family. And for all my XMG family members out there, I love you. And I'll see you all in the next one. I'm out.